I've said this before, but Andarna pissed me off in this book.
Yeah.
No, I'm literally obsessed.
Hey besties, welcome to
Literally Obsessed.
It's Cassy
And Brittany.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Hi guys. So I know we just finished our Onyx Storm deep dives. Woo, we made it. So today's episode we're just going to be talking about your guys' favorite Onyx Storm theories and kind of what we are thinking as to maybe possibly what's happening in the next book. Honestly, we don't really have a lot. So we just wanted to come on here today and just highlight some of what you guys have submitted as theories in our recent post when we asked you guys, and also just a couple that have been throughout some time while we've been covering Onyx Storm. So pretty much that's what today's episode's all about.
Yeah.
Definite content or spoiler warnings for sure. If you haven't read Onyx Storm, we will be talking about, of course, any type of theory that we have with the following books. So if you guys haven't read it, log off and go read and then come back when you are done. So we are covering all of Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and all of Onyx Storm, of course. And yeah, shall we just jump right into it?
Let's jump right in.
Okay, so one of the first ones that we saw, and it was kind of a reoccurring one that I know that Brittany and I have talked about before, is that the dragons are sus.
Yes.
So I guess some backstory to this is that, as you guys know, again, this is all spoilers, so you better have been clicked away from now. So as you guys know, the Irids were just not exactly what everyone was expecting, and they were very suspicious because of the way they handled the whole Andarna situation and the way that they were really weird about answering different questions about what happened before and with the Great War and all of those things, right? And kind of led to everybody thinking they're sus. And so we had a submission. Someone said from Mel on our TikTok, said, I feel that the Venin aren't really a threat or not the biggest one. I think there's definitely dragons that are more threat to everyone. Really interesting. So I just want to put that first theory on the floor. What do we think?
Yeah, I agree, especially after, I believe Taryn says this in Iron Flame, something about how humans and dragons bonded. They're both not fully honest with each other. When Taryn said that, I was like, Taryn, what are you keeping from us, bud? But there's things that dragons don't let their riders know, and like that the Empyrean are discussing, and how they took it because it was like mutually beneficial for both parties. And I just want to know what would be beneficial for dragons to have humans,
right,
or riders,
that
other than yeah, like it makes sense for a human to want a dragon, but vice versa. I don't get it. So other than them being like, we got humans on our side, I don't
Interesting, right? Another one that kind of was in the same TikTok that we had posted is Julie. Let me get your last name. McKendry. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Julie.
You said, I think there were dragons around during the time of the original 6 or 7 that are in the Empyrean series. I'm not saying they are lying about their ages, but might have been eggs as well as overheard a lot. Andarna is proof of remembering some things while still in the egg. So just kind of goes to show that like you really can't trust anybody in these books, but specifically the dragons, which you would think that like they should be the most trustworthy. They've been around the longest. But if they're lying about their ages, that's also like concerning, because like what have they seen and what haven't?
Well, that also begs the question though. I know that we have brought this up before. How long are you in an egg?
Yeah.
How long does it take to hatch? Because Andarna says she waited to hatch like 600 years. Huh?
And also, how do you control
you can consciously choose that?
Yeah.
And she talks about like overhearing things in the egg. I'm confused.
Really weird. So really weird. You can't trust them. And then when Andarna was explaining her whole life story to the Irids, they were very like defensive of Andarna, but also attacking her, being like, well, why did Violet, you girl, like you the one that ruined like her sleep, like she wasn't able to fully develop. And it's just interesting why like they went immediately to just pointing blame
like
to
it's
humans,
Violet's fault,
right, without even hearing out Andarna, which she said she consciously decided when to wake up. So very sus. I think in the next book or so, we will get a lot more information, hopefully, about the Irids, as well as kind of maybe Taryn's point of view as to like what he knows. I feel like we didn't really hear a lot about what he knew about the Irids, or like what he heard as like, maybe he's piecing together like, oh, that I've heard that there was a breed of dragons that were, you know, he's never really put a lot of input. He was just like, well, yeah, sure, let's go find them. But I don't know. I feel like he knows more than he's saying.
I agree. I also feel like it's a little bit sketchy that I've said this before, but Andarna pissed me off in this book.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off that the entire time she was so like, I don't know where I come from. I don't know my family. And then they say Irid. And she's like, wait a second. I'm an Irid scorpion tail twice removed. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, where did that come from? All of a sudden, you know your whole family history.
Yeah.
And it happened multiple times where like somebody would say like one word, and all of a sudden it would trigger all of her memories.
Yeah, like everybody would know. And I was like, okay, just 4 letters is what's gonna really tie in your whole family history.
Yeah, I don't know. I just found it a little bit weird.
Super strange. So I don't know. And I also want to know a little bit more about, we all want to know more about Taryn and his past, like with Naolan. Like we want to know like if that had any significance within him and Taryn. Like I don't really know. There's so much more to the dragons, I feel, that we obviously don't know about, and I think hopefully we'll find out more as they become a bigger like character or bigger part of the storyline as time comes up.
I will say, because Rebecca's really like building the tension between whatever happened with Naolan and Taryn.
Yeah.
If we like don't find out,
so disappointing,
or it's something stupid,
yeah,
I'm gonna be upset.
She's like, they had a fight.
She's like, Naolan just did die.
That's it. And it's just like kind of affected Taryn ever since. No, I think that there was way more to it. Yeah, so I think that kind of ties into my next one is, it's not this one, so I don't know, I have this pulled up. But one that I was thinking about that I think I noticed as a trend on our deep dives is that we've talked about, of course, venom and dragons and how one can kill basically the other. So we know that like something had taken away all the venom back in the day, obviously not fully because they were back, but just kind of wanted to throw that out there that I personally think that some kind of cure for venom is something to do with dragons.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's specifically like Andarna's blood or like whatever it might be, but it has to be something. So just wanted to see what your opinion was about that one.
Yeah, I was thinking of something as you were saying that, because what if it did take out all the venom? But I feel like we've seen how easy it is to just channel from the earth, even if you don't mean to, like the girl in sparring class, right? You're just reaching for your power and you accidentally take too much. So what if they did get rid of all the venom, but then like somebody turned, and then it's like, hey, if you want a lot of power, you could do this, and then they like I don't know, maybe not, just something I thought of.
No, it's so true. I think
it's always going to be an issue.
Yeah. I don't think we're ever going to wipe them away.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it has a lot to do with what the dragons are keeping as secrets, of course, and like I don't know if maybe they're protecting their own kind and not wanting to get involved too much, but I'm like, if you're bonded with a human, of course you're impacted because your life is now, not in danger, but I guess it's just not going to be great, right? So I don't know. I think that the dragons definitely have something to do with the cure. That's all I have.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. It's got to be the Irids.
It's got to be the Irids. It's got to be
If it's not the Irids, then what the fuck were we doing this whole time? You know what I mean?
Searching for.
This whole book was about finding the Irids.
Yeah. Totally. And we found them and it was disappointing. So I hope for a redemption arc between them. So another theory from Savannah Lund. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but you commented on our Instagram story and you said, what if Violet can summon / speak to the dead and then formed her need in interrogation? So when she was in interrogation, that's when she formed this need to speak to the dead. Or like I guess her signet was snapped into place. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I like this theory. The only thing that turns me away from it is that Rebecca has confirmed that Liam was just a hallucination.
Yeah.
And not her talking to the dead. However, I do think she has some sort of connection to Malik, whether it's that she is like a physical manifestation of him, or I don't know, she somehow got dedicated to Malik also, or Malik he listens to her, it seems. So I feel like she has some sort of tie to him.
Yeah, I think I'm also curious as to if we'll ever see an embodied Malik. Like, if we will ever see and talk to him.
I have questions. So people were saying, what if Malik is her dad? Right? Which is like, so Lilith was like the Virgin Mary. like, right? Like,
Violet's Jesus. She's got to sacrifice herself.
I don't know. So I have questions. Cassy, you're into Greek mythology. How likely was it for a god to impregnate a human?
Well, if you've ever watched Percy Jackson.
Right. It's been a while, but
pretty possible, because
is that what his parents are?
His dad is Zeus.
That's right.
Percy
But who's
Jackson.
his mom? A human?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
They fell in love, and Birds and the Beast.
What do you mean they fell in love?
You said how'd that happen? Two people love each other.
That's fair. But like, was he just walking among the humans?
I can't fully remember what it is, but I just know that his mother was a mortal, and his dad is Zeus.
Okay, well, so let's just say something I've thought of.
And if I'm wrong, I'm scared of the Percy Jackson fans, because sometimes
do you want me to check?
No, we'll throw it out there. Okay.
Well, I just want to say I offered. Okay, my question is, let's just say Malik is her dad. Okay. Asher, not the father. I'm going to go a couple different ways. Stay with me. Malik is her dad. Asher is not her father. He's Mira and Brennan's. Okay. And then posed as her dad. We are never told how Asher looks. Right?
I don't think so. In my memory.
Do we even know if she looks like either of her parents?
Imagine
it's kind of explained that Mira looks a lot like Lilith. She does say that Brennan kind of looks like their dad, but it's never explained that she looks like their dad, or even Lilith.
She's no one's kid.
She's adopted.
She was left at a door.
So that's an option, because we never know how her dad looks. Another option, Asher is Malik, but then Brennan and Mira should then also therefore be godly. Y'all tell me.
I don't know. I don't really know how their gods work. Very different than Greek gods.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Very different. Very similar.
So I can't really tell, put a gauge on that, but I think that, I don't know, she's either connected by blood somehow or by dedication, and I don't know which one, because everyone's acting sus about Violet's childhood, I think, when she was a child and she was a baby, and I feel like everyone's a little bit weird, and the only way to find the answer is talk to grandma. Off to grandmother's house.
That better be next book, Rebecca.
I don't know, because Mira really be talking up the grandma, and she'd be saying oh, she's the only one relative we have left.
It's true, but we also can't trust Mira.
Can you think about their bloodline's done with Violet?
Oh shit!
Unless she has anyone.
Unless she has an heir. Y'all would love that, wouldn't you?
We're gonna X-nay that one.
Well, actually, hold the phone. Technically, it's on Brennan, and we think Brennan's gay.
Well, they could still have lineage of a sort.
I mean, that's true. It's just not going to be a blood relative.
What do you mean?
Well, if he adopts.
Well, if Violet were to have a baby,
right,
that means the lineage is continued.
Right, but she's going to marry Xaden in a perfect world. They're already married, but she's going to be with Xaden, so then the kid is going to be a Ryerson.
According to Zayden, he's down for anything.
I mean, that's fair. Well, one of their lineage...
Soren... What did
Sorensen or whatever?
Sorensen and Ryergale.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You ever think, like, for instance, I was like, kids are questionable to me. My brother said he doesn't want kids. I'm like, we're ending the family lineage
right
here.
there and then.
That's it.
I don't see any of them having kids, really. All three of them? Mira, Brennan, or Violet?
Yeah. And what a stupid idea, because you're in the middle of a fucking war.
Like, you do got targets on your back.
Yeah. Like, Mira's not getting pregnant anytime soon. No.
Unless Drake gets crazy. Imagine.
Okay, well, all to say, if it were to go traditional, where you take, like, the husband's last name, and it did go to the Ryerson family.
I would technically.
It is kind of like when you're like the only girl, you're kind of ending like the lineage. It takes, unfortunately, a man. And like, while yes, the kid is still their mom's gonna be a Sorengale, and vice versa too. If they decide to go with Sorengale instead of Ryerson, that's the end of Ryerson then.
That's
For
true.
real, that's the end.
That's true.
Nobody else has that last name.
That's the end of lineage, end of family lines, guys. We're at the end. Well, probably a lot of people's lives are ending.
Unless they hyphenate. Those are long last names, though.
People do
Ryerson,
that.
Sorengale, Ryerson.
And they have them two together.
There you go.
They create their own lineage.
One kid has Ryerson, one kid has Sorengale. They split them up at birth. One moves to England, one moves to Napa Valley.
Napa Valley?
Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No. What are you talking about?
And then 12 years later, they meet at summer camp.
Oh, shit. I didn't hear the first part. I just heard Napa Valley.
I said split them up at birth. One moves to London, one moves to Napa Valley. And then they're like, I have this picture of my dad in the Temple of Doom. She's like, I have a picture of my mom in the Temple of Doom. That was actually vice versa, technically. Yeah, I got the accents wrong, but
all good.
Throwing it out there.
That just made me think. I'm not gonna spiral on this.
No, please do.
Last names start? How long have they been around?
No, you're right.
You ever think about how long your last name has been alive?
Okay.
In your lineage?
Well, I've never looked it up.
I haven't either.
My mom. Scared. Okay, so when I went to New York almost 2 years ago now, my mom was like, "Are you gonna go to oh my god, what's the island?
Ellis Island.
Ellis Island. Are you gonna go to Ellis Island and see the Statue of Liberty?" I said, "Mom, I don't really have a desire to see the Statue of Liberty." She said, "Brittany, that's your culture." She said, "That's a very important part of our history, like, you know, immigration and stuff." I said, "No, you're right." And I said, "I just feel like whatever, I'll see it from like far away." I remember I took a picture of it like across the water. She was like, "I could take that from California." And I was like, "Okay, well, shit, sorry, I don't want to get on the fucking ferry and go see the Statue of Liberty." So she was really disappointed in me. I ended up going to Battery Park, which is like the closest you can get without getting on the ferry, right? Is that Staten Island? Am I getting that right?
I don't know.
Okay, well, whatever. Battery Park. That. I knew I was in Battery. Is that's what it's called, right?
Again, I don't know.
Battery something. Okay. And I'm on the ferry, or I wasn't on the ferry, but I was right there. I said, "Mom, there you go." And she said, "Better, but like you're still not up against it, right?" But she was like, "Why don't you want to go and like research your family name?" And I said, "I'm sorry. So she's disappointed in me. I said, "I get it. It's like a big deal for immigrants.
Yeah.
So I understand. If I would have gone, you could have looked up your name and seen like where it came from and everything." So my bad.
I think I did that in 8th grade when I went to New York for the first time, but I can't remember. It was for my mom's side. Like that was where like all her family came from. And I can't remember where. I want to say it was definitely Germany, which is where my mom is from, but I don't know if there was like anything farther from that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like earlier on.
Yeah, I mean there has to reach a point where there's not documentation.
Well, I'm like, damn. Also, who came up with your last names? Who came up with names?
No, I know.
Do you ever
think about who came up with like, if the word somebody had to create that.
Be like, oh, what's the word that we're going to say for the things that I'm literally saying right now?
Yeah.
They're like, word.
And then you have to come up with a definition for it.
Word?
Yeah.
Which has words making up.
You know what I mean?
Word.
Like, somebody had to do this.
It's insane to me. But I'm just thinking, I was like, shit, where do we come from?
It's true. Like, somebody, I guess, just made it up.
Like,
if you're religious, we all came from Adam and Eve.
Yeah, fair.
We are all related,
I guess. Or specks. I don't know what we did. I don't know what we were.
We're all sitting on a fucking... We're a speck on a flower. And Horton is looking down on us.
And here's us who's.
But I don't know. It is weird to think about.
I'm like, how do you be like, oh, this is the Pole lineage?
Let us know if y'all know.
Any historians out there, hit me up if you know anything about last names.
I can't think too much about the royal family and their houses because they have just straight up come up with things. Because I looked into it. I was like, what? It was with the whole Meghan Markle thing when she was like, I'm a Sussex now or whatever. And I was like, that's not your last name. That's your title, girly. But what do I know about royal families, right? I thought their last name was Windsor.
I think no.
But it's their house. And I said, hold the phone. You're telling me Prince Harry went to school and Prince William, he met Kate at college. What did they call him? Prince William? There's no legal documentation. They don't have a last name. Like, they don't have last name.
What was Diana's last name?
But she's not royalty.
That's right. It was just Prince Charles.
Yeah.
Is it Charles? Or is that the dad?
Yes, Charles.
Okay. Oh, wait. They're both Charles, huh?
No, William.
No, William's dad's dad, the grandpa.
Oh.
Queen Elizabeth's husband. Wasn't that Charles too?
Well, shit. It's too complicated for me.
He just died, huh?
Yeah, it is Charles, isn't it? No, it's not.
Aren't they both Charles?
You know, help me out, guys.
Philip.
Prince Philip. Got it.
And then they had Charles.
Then Charles. Then William.
Came,
and
then,
Harry.
Lilybeth.
And I forgot the kid's name, but
they must have just... I remember in the docu-series, Kate would just call him William.
Well,
that's
yeah, I'm not constantly saying my boyfriend's last name.
Or no, but like without the prince. Like she didn't say anything.
Well, yeah, if you were dating you tell me honestly right now, if you were dating a prince, would you say Prince whatever?
Yeah.
Cassy.
If he was that big of a prince and he was looking the way he looked back then when she met him.
That's true. What happened to him?
Do you remember that one picture they had? I know this
the
is
one that
so
was in
off
Princess
topic.
Diaries.
Was it in Princess? Oh no, the one where they're like laying into paparazzi took him and she like wrote like to open his shirt and wrote king with lipstick. You've never seen
I don't know.
Pause the episode. Hold up. I gotta show you. Iconic.
Oh,
iconic.
I'm looking at the picture now. His hand in her hair.
His hand in her hair, his hand on her arm with the lipstick.
Dang, and she said, I know what I'm going after. It's that crown, babes.
It's such a historical picture for me.
I've never seen that picture.
It was such a scandal when he like was... I don't even know.
That's pretty scandalous as the future king.
Well, I know. And I'm just like, damn, bitch.
No, because really well, I think it's his ugly personality. Don't come for me, royal family. That might be controversial. I'm going to keep it in though. But he was hot back in the day.
I don't know what that picture's background is, but I just remember seeing it. I'd be like, ooh. Yeah, I would call him Prince for sure. I'd be like, I'm a princess. She's the Duchess, right?
No, she's a princess.
Kate? I thought she's Duchess of something.
Wait, now I'm confused.
Because I think you only get the princess title if you're by blood.
Oh.
Because they have princess.
But Meghan and Harry, are they not Duke and Duchess?
They're removed.
Well, I know now they are. But they were. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
I think it was still Prince Harry and then like the Duchess.
Whatever. I don't even care anymore.
I think my mom's really big into the
My mom
family.
is too.
Moms love
the royal family.
My mom is convinced we're like related. Because like
what? Cassie.
Hold on.
Pause. we gotta pause the episode again.
Don't come for me. Come for my mom.
Okay, Miss Polly, explain.
Okay. This is really getting off topic, but quickly. My grandpa, so my mom's dad, he is from Germany, so he's like the German side. My mom's mom is from England, so and then my mom's grandma, so my great grandma, was like this little lady, and she said that when she was younger, she used to think she was like Queen Elizabeth.
Wait, why did she think that?
Because she looks exactly like Queen Elizabeth, and she was like, oh, that's her sister. And she I guess had like some kind of, I think all of us are like from some type of same lineage at the end of the day, right? Well, we all kind of come from Adam and Eve. But she like, my mom's like, I found something that said like, oh, thank you to the family of this that's like a fourth removed. And I was like, Mom, be for real. But whatever makes my little mother happy by thinking we're royal, then I'm gonna go with that.
I mean, you don't get any of the perks right now.
Nope. Not at all. We're also like fully American. So I don't know if they would give
anything.
So
are Harry and Meghan at this point.
It's true.
Living in Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Imagine going to your local Target.
You see Prince Harry.
Prince Harry is just
with his kid
shopping with Lilibeth and Archie. That's his name.
I love it. I love those. I like to track the royal family, but
it's fun. But then I move on. My mom, she's like watched The Crown. Yeah. She lived through like Princess Diana's era. So like
Princess Diana was iconic.
I know.
I love her.
I know. It makes me sad. Like
I could cry.
I could cry.
Yes. Have you watched The Crown?
No.
You gotta watch The Crown. It's good.
Okay.
I watched like most episodes, but the last couple seasons with Princess Diana really tied it in for me.
That's fair.
Because whoever that actress is,
yeah, she looked just like her.
The mannerisms down.
It was crazy to me that back in the day, I'm sorry, y'all, we'll move on in a second.
Yeah, we will.
Crazy to me that they went to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Imagine the royal family at Disneyland. First of all, they could have like had the money to shut down the park.
Totally. But they're commoners.
But Princess Diana,
she raised them right.
She said, no. You will wait in line. You will wait in this 45-minute line for Space Mountain.
No. And
back then it was probably 25 minutes. Yeah. Let's be real. Disney was like never crowded.
Never.
But crazy. Imagine you just go
on
your family trip to Disneyland and you see Princess Diana and her two little boys. And like, let's be real, like Philip, whoever, Charles was not there.
Charles was not there. Fuck Charles.
Fuck Charles.
And that, say that loud and proud.
Stand on that.
Stand on that. Okay, I'll get back.
Okay, sorry. That was royalty lessons. That was princess lessons with Brittany and Cassy.
With Brittany and Cassy.
We should read the Princess Diaries.
Oh my god, I'd be down. I forgot that it's a book, huh?
It's very different, I heard, from the movies. Which is rough because I love the movies.
Keep the way that the movies are.
Oh, she just said movies are better than books.
Some cases.
Okay, let's move
Princess
on. You're getting us
for
canceled,
sure.
So
me. Okay. So Lucy A. Hamilton. She wrote like a kind of a big one. So if it's broken up, I'm so sorry if I'm saying it. Okay, this is the first one. She wrote two. We're gonna find out some of the dragons are actually bad guys, actually, and the way that they keep magic for themselves is out of balance. So the series will end with a more equitable distribution of magic. So
okay,
are we killing off the dragon race to feel?
Oh my god, she said dragons are not going to exist anymore.
Never going to exist. No, but I thought that was really interesting because they always say like nature likes things in balance,
it's
and
true.
especially Taryn is the one to say that all the time. So I don't know.
You know, that's an interesting point, Lucy, because there has to be balance for the venom. Surely it's not humans.
Surely no.
It would have to be something equally as powerful, like a dragon.
I also think that it's interesting if you think in the terms of a human, like the rider and the dragon, right? There really can't be a balance there.
Right.
One's more empowered than the other. So I think that is interesting. Maybe with all of the years of being a rider and like having this like whole system going on, dragons have taken more power than they should have. I don't know. Really cool theory, Lucy. Okay, theory 2. Feels canon at this point that Andarna and Irids draw magic from the sky, not the ground. Thus, Violet controls the sky.
I have to agree with that because
that's pretty valid.
Yeah, they also are just like, you are magic. I'm like, Irids, do you want to explain for a second what you mean by that?
Yeah.
When you just say like, just do it, you're magic.
You're like magic and it's in whole
like magic
entity?
is in you. What?
Yeah, I don't know. Really interesting. I think that
You are the magic in me. Wait, was that good?
Finally we showed off our skills on this podcast
Because it sounded good to me.
It was good. She's really good.
She's really
I wish
good.
we caught that on camera. I'm just kidding.
What?
I was joking because we do have a camera.
No, I got it. I wish they would have seen the smile that you gave me.
Oh. If you guys can't, if you're just hearing it,
I'm sorry.
imagine me going with my tongue.
Cassie's
with my
always
tongue
one
out.
thing about Cassie. She's gonna lick the microphone.
I'm gonna lick the microphone. Yummy. What were we talking about? Oh,
Well, they're magic.
yeah, they're magic, and I don't know how their like balance is with magic, and if like dragons can feel if they're taking more than they should, which I feel like they wouldn't ever like
Can
vocalize. I guess.
no, maybe this is a stupid question. Because when
there are only a couple stupid questions, and I'm sure this is not one of them.
well, I'm just confused. I was gonna say, can dragons channel? But dragons are magic, right?
So, right.
When you're channeling for your signet, you are drawing power from your dragon. I'm confusion.
Like, where is it?
Where are they getting power from?
From their blood, their beating soul.
You
I don't know.
what I mean?
It's got-
Rebecca,
Does the veil do anything with like charging up? Like,
they have to go back to, they're like, gotta go back into my pod and charge for the next
up.
24 hours.
like 600 years later, here I go, popping out a baby.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even know what their birthing process looks like.
Well, they hatch
I know, but like,
from other dragons.
how many are in from one mother?
That's a good question.
We don't
Let
know
me
a
just go
lot.
ask my fellow dragons.
Hey,
Well, what's the closest thing we have to dragons?
reptiles.
Right, but specifically what kind?
Did they say chickens are closer to like dinosaurs than lizards?
Birds are pretty much dinosaurs.
Yeah, they are dinosaurs. They do be.
You know where I heard that? Our good friend Miles.
Our good
Good friend Miles. He knew that the chickens were like really closely related to dinosaurs. I mean,
iconic.
He's a smart little cookie.
He's literally like 6,
7, I think.
7.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's so cute though. Yeah, but okay, so let's just say, well, fuck. I'm just trying to think of how many eggs you lay.
I think usually like reptiles, probably what, like a handful? No more than like
a hummingbird. Sorry.
Wow.
It literally stopped by my window.
I just talked about birds.
That was kind of crazy, y'all. I'm
Who
so
was
sorry.
that?
That was somebody visiting.
Who in your family was that?
I don't know. I hope my dog.
Aww.
It literally stopped at our window, guys, and like looked in for a second before flying away. Just checking in.
Bye.
Speaking of birds, I hear hummingbirds are the closest related to dragons.
Imagine
But-
this dragon comes right in here.
Do hummingbirds lay eggs? They have to, right?
Most birds are all leg
Layers.
leg
Egg
layer.
layers.
Oh my god,
Think of how teeny tiny those little eggs might be.
baby small.
I don't know.
Also goes, I think maybe one dragon equals like
You don't think like
7 baby eggs, because not all eggs hatch.
you're right?
Also, oh my god, Andarna probably never knew her mom.
Well, yeah, she was in the egg for 600 years.
Yeah, but like, how long can dragons live for?
That's another question.
Dragons are actually pissing me off in these books.
No,
because I don't know anything about them.
Guys, if I've learned anything from these deep dives, it's that we really don't know what the fuck is going on.
Ever.
And were those all of the theories, or were there more?
Those were all of the ones that I have seen recently. There was a couple more that I think we've talked about already, though, in the past couple ones.
Well, I guess because all I wanted to say is we already said this, but it just, where are we going?
Yeah, that's
We're
the summary of
unfortunately-
this episode is we have no idea what's happening.
We're on the train, and it doesn't look like we're getting off.
Yeah.
The destination is unclear.
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, okay. This is just funny. I'm not trying to tie it back to ACOTAR, but ACOTAR was very different, right?
Spoiler warning. Are you going to say
ACOTAR.
spoilers?
I wasn't going to say any much about it, but I was just
Okay,
going to say
I
the
retract
layout
my statement.
The layout of those series were, of course, very different from the ones for this series, because the two last books were like point of view, like different points of view,
Yeah.
whatever. But I'm just trying to think in like a 5-part series, right? Like where would we think that the middle book would go? And if we're following that like W structure that she does, we're on the downhill now, right? Because we were at the peak with Onyx Storm, and now we're back at the down.
Yeah.
And apparently we're gonna go back up from there. Doesn't look like that, but apparently that's what's happening. So I'm just trying to think back to like any series I've tried to read, and it's just a different layout. I feel like Onyx Storm is just like
I get it. Like we can't be roses and butterflies.
Wish, but it wouldn't be as interesting, you know.
I did see that she was on Jeopardy.
I saw that.
Like a clue or whatever, and she said something about how she will always give her characters happy endings, and everyone was like Rebecca, Liam, like fucking I don't know, Sawyer, everyone you've ever written, they're all unhappy right now.
Lies. All of them, actually.
Lies.
Even the ones that you think are happy, they're not.
They're not, Miss Girl.
So I don't know. Honestly, we were so ready when we were talking about Iron Flame, about like theories that we had for Onyx Storm. We had like so many directions we could have taken. Were we wrong with most of them? Yes. But we had a lot more questions, which I just feel like for Onyx Storm, everything's a question. Like there's not really any specific questions.
I don't really think anything got answered in an Onyx Storm.
We got a couple answers, like Zayden's mom.
Okay,
we got
fine.
we got
Irids, I guess. Yeah.
We got questions, but I think the reason why we still feel questionable about it is because the answers were not fully given. Like it was, we got, yes, Zayden's mom, but we didn't really hear a lot about what she's been doing this whole time, and like what she had as like a relation with her husband that was trying to kill them. You know what I mean?
We didn't
like,
unpack it.
We didn't unpack all of the answers, which I feel like makes us feel a little bit more like we're questioning all of these same questions that were just answered, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
I don't know. I just think that book 4, whenever we get this, it's going to be like a lot of pressure on the story to like fill in the gaps, because I think we're starting to get to the end, and as a reader I want to know these answers.
Yeah, it's hard because we just have so many questions right now, truly, that I'm worried are not going to get answered. And maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure she has all the answers. Like I'm sure, I have faith in her, but it is a little worrisome as a reader. And I don't know, like I know we've said we don't know where the series is going to go at this point. Maybe as we get closer to book 4 coming out, we'll start to kind of have ideas. But at this point in time, on May 31st, 2025, I don't know where the story is going, and I don't feel as confident as I did at the end of Iron Flame.
Yeah, me too.
Where we were able to make an episode of like, here's where we see the book going, here's our predictions. I have 0.
I don't have anything.
So if it stays that way, I have 0 predictions.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think, I'm not going to speak on everybody, but I think for majority of people online are also feeling the same way.
Yeah.
Because I get it from like a storyline perspective of like, okay, you have 5 books. Of course, more questions need to come about as like the story is progressing. But I think we still have day 1 questions that are still left unanswered. Yeah. So like, Brennan, what the fuck?
I was literally going to say that.
He's been a day 1 weirdo since the beginning.
Day 1 weirdo.
And I just feel like, I don't know when we're going to get that. I don't, of course, know anything, and I'm sure anything's possible, but when is going to be a good time to bring that up? Yeah. When's going to be a good time for acting like nothing happened between like Mira and Drake? And like, I feel like that was just a random pop-up thing. And like with Mira, like we've been questioning what she's been doing since also day 1. And I think there was another one that I was going to talk about.
Zayden keeping secrets. It still feels like he's keeping secrets.
Now Violet's keeping weird secrets. Yeah. And like from her friends, and it's like, wait, what? Huh? So I don't know. I just think I get it from a storyline perspective. I accept it because of course I want more stories to come, and I want this to be an amazing book, like series to the end. But I'm like, getting worried that we're just piling too many questions on our like forum here. So I hope that it works out somehow, and of course that everyone gets a happily ever after, but this is fantasy, so I know that it won't always go the way we want it to. That's what I'm damn sure about. It's not going to go the way we want.
Yeah, I think all to say I'm excited, but I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm a little more nervous than I am excited for this next book.
Me too.
And I'm especially nervous because Rebecca seems like she is in no hurry to write this book. I get it. I really do. But it seems like she's in no hurry at all to write this book. So I think it's going to be a while.
I guess one thing we could predict is maybe when we think book 4 would come out.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. I thought about this and I'm thinking strategically here.
Okay.
So if she's saying she's not written anything, I think she's lying. I think she's at least got, I think she's gotten the plot down, and I think she's probably began it, but she just doesn't want to say anything because people get crazy like us, where we just start to speculate and maybe makes her feel more pressure or whatever. I think she started it, and I think realistically that she will not, and y'all take a deep breath, I don't think she's going to release it until end of next year.
I was going to say the same thing. Fall of 2026. Which is upsetting.
Oh my God, by the time this series is over, I'm going to be in my mid-20s.
No, because I know. We might not even be doing the podcast.
We can't manifest that, Brittany.
I know, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
We promised them we'd be here to hold their hand.
Well, I'm trying, y'all, but tell her to hurry it up. My clock is also ticking, you know?
Oh my God, you're not going to die.
You never know. Every day isn't promised, but no, but also like, girl, we've got other things to do.
I just hope that it at least leads to Xaden and Violet being happy.
Yeah,
Everyone
that's
else,
all I hope.
I hope for the best, but them two, if they...
Yeah, I know.
I'm be real pissed.
Yeah.
Just wondering what you guys think. When do you guys think book 4 is coming out? Maybe... I'm hoping that we get some news before like September about anything book 4.
Yeah,
whether
that would be nice.
Whether that be like an Easter egg, something small, something that wasn't supposed to come out, like anything at all. I'm hoping before like the end of this year at least. So
I feel like she's always, and I'm not trying to be mean when I'm saying this, because I understand if you were like writing something and everyone is constantly hounding you, but she's always posting things about her writing and she's like, it's not book 4. I'm like, okay, shit, Rebecca, sorry, we're excited. Why are you yelling at us? It always just feels like she's yelling at us.
She's like,
very, okay, mom, sorry.
Taylor Swift does a lot of the same things, so
yep, it's clear where she gets her influence from.
I don't think we talked about this, but Taylor like just owned back her like records and everything, or her like
I'm calling it right now. She is gonna release all of her stuff again, like being like, I own it now, to sell it for a third time.
There's no way.
I'm calling it right now.
There's no way.
She did it the first time, and then she didn't own her music, so she did Taylor's versions, and now I'm calling it that she's gonna release again, because she's gonna be like, I own my music.
I think
if I'm right, you all owe me $1.
$1. One single dollar.
That's okay. Even if 30 people listen to this, that's $30.
We'll see.
I'm literally calling it.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know that she like was talking about like she just hasn't like rewritten her rep TV like Taylor's version, because now that she owns it, she's like, well, I don't really want to re-record all of that. Makes sense though, because she's addressing kind of like the rumors as to what's being released, and so I feel like probably Rebecca's doing the same thing, which I think is probably what her publishing is telling her, is like, don't lead into any rumors, or if you don't have anything you want to release, then don't give any speculation to it. So I don't know, maybe it's coming from her. I don't know. I don't know Rebecca's story, but girl, hope everything's good with you. Hope everything like you feel better, and then you feel in a better headspace to write book 4.
Yeah,
that's truly all I guess what we wish for, is that you feel good, and that you, whatever you release, you feel good about too. That's all we ask, and that they stay alive, the two of them.
Peace and love.
But I think that's all that we have for you guys. Sorry that if it felt a little chaotic, but
it felt chaotic for us too.
It was. We don't really know what's going to happen, but I'm just gonna say it. We're welcoming it with open arms, which sounds scary, but it's all we can do at this point. But yeah,
that is it for Onyx Storm and the Empyrean series as of now. As we said, as we start to get news of book 4 or things that, I don't know, interviews and things that Rebecca releases, we'll obviously do episodes covering that. But for the summer, we're going to be kind of moving into more summary books. We're going to move into other topics. We already have some ideas, but we won't tell y'all just yet. So just look forward to fun episodes that are not around Onyx Storm.
Yeah. So be on the lookout. We'll definitely keep you guys updated on our Instagram and TikTok. So if you guys aren't following that, and then also leave us a comment wherever, either on TikTok or on this video, about what you guys think about book 4. Like, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you think it's coming out soon? What do you think? We want to hear it. So, and then also you guys can follow us on Fable, should be in our description. So if you guys want to check that out, we've been kind of trying to see if we can try that out, maybe build a community. That way we can have a free way for you guys to also just talk, and we can do little book clubs on that. So if you guys need us for anything, DM us, whatever, email us if you're traditional. But other than that, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
All right. See you next week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Mwah.